Alright.
Like I'm on candy cane.
Pretty much. So we could start with, where did you grow up?
The time I can remember, it was in Cropper.
Cropper.
Cropper, Kentucky. And we lived up the railroad track on Mr. Flood's place. I can remember that.
How many brothers and sisters did you have?
1 brother, 3 sisters. Now I've got 2 sisters left. Willetta was the oldest. She's 6 years older than me. Then came James. He's 2 years older. He was 2 years older than me. He died 2 days before his 65th birthday. Vicky is 6 years younger than me. And Heather is 17 younger than me. 17 years younger than me.
Wow.
Yeah. Mom, there was, 4 ladies from the same church. All within their 40s. I think Mom's in her 40s, yeah. Got pregnant that year. They talked about the Cropper water. Cormay Tipton, Mom, Charles. It was 4 anyway, I don't remember it all. And Mom was really upset. We had to really watch her. And then Heather was the joy of her daddy's, all of us was gone. She was a joy to them.
All right, can you tell us a little bit about the life growing up in Cropper?
I went to school at Cropper, finished at Baghdad. Remember when Cropper School burnt down? That was the biggest thing that ever happened to Cropper. And cars were lined from Pleasureville all the way, both sides of Cropper. You just wouldn't believe the people. But that was a big thing. That was about the biggest thing I guess ever happened to Cropper. Daddy had ulcers, but they was raising tobacco with Mr. Flood, and I used to take him cream. Every half hour he'd have to drink cream. Pure cream. But they cured his ulcers. Dr. May over there at the Henry County Clinic told him he could. And then I remember when he was little, Granny used to fix the stool, stand up on, watch her cook. And Uncle Junior used to go frog gigging all the time. He'd catch frogs. And you couldn't pay me enough money to eat a piece of that frog. Them things weren't dead. They were jumping all over that skillet. Did you ever see them cooked? They just jump all over the skillet. Just like they ain't dead. And
they love the legs.
Huh?
Just the legs.
Yeah, just the legs. Well, that's all there is to a frog legs. Every Saturday night, we'd ride the train and go to Inlands, because Daddy was a cop over there on Saturday night, and we'd go to the dance hall. And then we'd ride a taxi home. Back then, it was $2.25 for a taxi to bring you from Inlands to up there on Mr. Flood's place, up the railroad track. And I can remember Daddy getting out in front of the lights, counting out his change to pay the taxi driver. And that was a long time ago. Frankie was always there. We grew up, we grew up together. And we'd walk to Pleasureville. I mean, that's 3 miles on a country road, and you couldn't see that kids doing that now. They'd be kidnapped or murdered or whatever. And our biggest thrill, I guess what you'd call it, we'd walk. I mean, it wasn't no riding no bicycle, going no car, nothing. We walked where we wanted to go, and on the weekends, that's what we did. We just walked. And Mom and them never did worry about us, because it was safe back then, as far as I know, to walk to Pleasureville and back. We did that lots and lots of times. I wouldn't even give him a try now. It's 3 miles. So, but, and drive-in, they had a drive-in, free drive-in, not drive-in, 3 movies over there. Was a old bank they had, and they show free movies on Saturday night. We go over and watch the movies on Saturday night. And then one time, Paul caught me and Frankie smoking under his tobacco. You know how they open the doors up to let your tobacco cure? Well, we made our own out of, what you call them, leaves and things. So we twisted our own tobacco and got up underneath his tobacco. I mean, we didn't have enough sense to know smoke's going to blow right outside the doors, you know. And Paul came up there and he caught us. He said, if you're going to smoke, get out from underneath my damn tobacco. And, well, I wasn't worried about him because I knew he wasn't going to whip us, but I was scared he was going to tell Mom. She would have. He never did, I don't reckon. I mean, she found about out years later when we was talking about it. Billy Wainscott, he used to have this old car. And we get out there. Granny and Paul Kelly lived out there on this farm. And we'd get out there on that road and he'd let us drive that old car. And Mom had made me a skirt. And I was riding on the fender. And Frankie was driving. She threw me off. I wasn't worried about getting hurt. I was afraid Mom's going to have a fit because I tore that new skirt up. When I was dating, and I didn't date very much. Mom didn't mind me. But I used to have to take Frankie with me. And anybody knows Frankie knows Spark. All the time. And if she did not like who I was out with, she let it be known. And that was the way she let it be known. I remember the first time I went out on a date, a boy came to pick me up at the house. His name was Billy Paul Paris. And Mom wasn't going to let me go. And I remember Daddy said, oh, hell, Juanita, let her go. And, but I had to do the dishes and everything before he came. And we went to the Chevrolet Drive-In. It was in the wintertime, and I can remember that just as well. First time I ever got to go out. My first date. First time I ever dated was. And we double dated with another couple. And she wore Blue Walls perfume. God, I like this. I never will forget it. Smothered us. Y'all won't know what Blue Walls perfume is. I mean, you wouldn't. Your kids nowadays wouldn't, but oh, it was awful.
So, what was probably the biggest struggle growing up back then?
Biggest struggle?
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't know, Jonathan. I don't even know whether we thought we had struggles. Going to school, we didn't think about my mom not letting me do something I wanted to do, I guess is what you would think. I'm sure there were bad kids. There was bad kids. Kids that didn't respect, but we respected our parents. And we did what we were told. Not like it is today. But as far as struggling, I don't know. We didn't have that much. You would have thought, Ben's I run away and got married at 16, but it wasn't. I mean, I just got talked into that. So let's start there. So, you know, your first husband, Wilbur, how did you end up meeting him? How did I meet him? Yes. Well, as you know, the Clarks and the Downeys are all entwined. And Christine, my cousin, his uncle married my aunt. Married Daddy's sister in Ethic. And we used to go down there all the time. And Wilbert was there for a few times went down there. That's how we, just kind of met. And it was... And I love my mom to death, don't get me wrong. But she told me I had to quit dating him. Had to start dating other people or quit dating him. And when we were sitting in Chattanooga one night, and Polly Troxel and a whole bunch of us was talking about it, and she said, why don't you get married? That's how I came to run off to get married. Huh. So how did you convince him to do it? Was he already on board? He was all in for it.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So, how long after you all were married did you have your first child?
10 months and 11 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Peggy, your mother graduated with me. I was 7 months to graduate in May, June, July. I was 7 months pregnant with her when I graduated from high school.
Huh.
And I graduated. And back then, I don't know how, nowadays it's nothing. But the boys wasn't embarrassed to walk with me down the aisle for graduation. But I had some pictures. I don't know whether they got burned up in Mom and Dad's house, burnt down or not when we graduated. But yeah, she was born on the 12th of July, and 10 months and 11 days after I got married.
What was the birthing process like back then? Did you have it at a hospital or at your house?
No, you had it at the hospital. And when I came home, and back then, now I was a 17-year-old kid. Didn't know nothing. Dumb. I mean, dumb. And back then, they just put you back there and don't tell you what's going on. I thought I was dying. But then when I came home from the hospital, at that time, Mom was pregnant with Heather. But they made me stay in bed. It ain't like, it's not like it is now. So, but I grew up quite, I grew up with my kids because I was a kid.
Right.
If you think of a 17-year-old kid having babies, 16-year-old kid getting married, nowadays it's just unreal.
Right.
But back then, 60-some years ago, it wasn't thought of so bad.
Now, did you have a job during that pregnancy, or did you?
No, it didn't work.
When did you start working?
Let's see, I think I had 3 kids. And I don't remember the first job. I know I remember working as a waitress. And I remember working at the psychiatric hospital in Frankfurt. I had 2 or 3 kids then. And I just did too long ago, John. I don't remember all that stuff. I remember working, but I don't remember when I did it.
How old were you when you had Jeannie?
Let's see. 18. I was 17 when Peggy was born. I was 19 when Jeannie was born. I was 20 when Debbie was born. They're only 11 months apart.
Oh, wow.
But Debbie was born when I was 6.5 months pregnant. I started to go out the back door and I fell. And she weighed 3.5 pounds. 3 pounds, 12 ounces. And back then you had to stay in the hospital until you weighed 5 pounds. So this is a story I have told many, many times in front of Heather. Heather was about 5 years old, 4 or 5 years old, her and Pete about the same age. Mom took me over to the hospital to get her, when she got released. Heather cried all the way home. She wanted Mom to go back and get her a baby. And Mom kept telling her, you can't do that. She kept saying, well, Myrtle did. She thought all I did was went in there and got Debbie. That she wanted Mom to go back and get her one. And that is, I can still see her standing. Back then, you kid could stand up in the seat. It didn't have to be in all the seat belts and all this stuff. And she was standing up, but she was having a fit. She wanted Mom to go back and get her one. And Pam came along 2 years later. And then 6.5 years later was Bo. And Dorothy Long was the nurse that helped deliver Bo. And of course, I've known her all my life. And she knew we had the 4 girls. Dr. Houston did too. And she kept telling Dr. Houston, thank Blue, thank Blue. And I think she was more excited that Bo was a boy than I was. Because she was a sweet person, though.
So, when did your marriage with Wilbur end?
It lasted 11 years. And that pure, I mean, the reason, the reason I sued for divorce, the kids, the girls, tried to get him to take them to the drive-in. And he told me he had stuff to do. Of course, they all knew he had girlfriends. They all see. And they went to church on Sunday morning, and some kids, I saw your dad at the drive-in last night, this blonde-headed woman. And I made up my mind, when my kids can't go to church without somebody telling them that they saw their daddy with somebody else. Well, that's when I sued him for divorce. And then Jimbo was born after our divorce.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and but I don't regret any of that. I mean, that's all and long past. But I don't have any complaints. I mean, my life with Wilbert was hard.
Mm-hmm.
We were both kids. I can't. But I forgive him for a lot of stuff. He gave me 5 wonderful kids, and all you grandkids are from them kids. And that's the best thing that could have ever happened to me.
Right.
And then Jack came along, and he's been a father and a grandfather to you all. I mean, a father to the kids and a grandfather to you all. And so I don't complain about it. It don't do you no good anyway. But
So, who was probably the hardest child to deal with out of the bunch?
growing up, I don't know. Jeannie was the one that was the most shy, believe it or not. She was shy.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't want to go to school. And then Debbie was the only one of the girls that went to what they called preschool back then. And when first grade come up, she done been in school. She didn't want to go no more. But didn't really have any trouble with them. They walked to school up the hill, going across school every day until we moved. Peggy was in the 7th grade, I think, when we moved to Louisville. And she stayed with Mom and them to the end of the year so she could finish out her 7th grade Cropper School. But then we moved to Louisville, so. And they all went to Southern. A lot of the teachers at Cropper School taught my kids before we moved to Louisville. And so they're almost all gone now.
Of course, Bo, he was the only one that graduated from a different high school, correct?
Bo was getting ready to go in the 6th grade when we moved out here. He went to middle school out here and in Bullitt East High School, yeah. He grew up out here. Pam, I had a little trouble with her when she was in high school, but she straightened up in the 11th grade just like you turn a switch off and on. And your mother used to stomp her foot. Every time she'd get mad, she'd stomp her foot. I don't know if she still does from there or not, but they all had. I worked second shift most of the time, and they all had jobs to do, and they would start them like 15 minutes before I was supposed to get home. So, yeah, but we did okay. We didn't have any money, but we did all right. Back in those days, I don't remember too much of the daily things. Now, them kids get to talking. You want to find out some stuff. You get Heather and Peggy and all of them talking. And they start telling tales they did when they was little.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my goodness. Here's some of them tales that them kids tell. Woo! I don't even want to know what they tell you.
So when did you first meet Jack?
When did I first meet Jack?
Yeah.
Jack, when we first meet?
You was in the bar over there.
Yeah, I was.
Man.
Oh, I was laid off from work, and the armory over at Buchel had started a little bar, and one of the dispatchers that I used to work with asked me if I wanted to bartend for him, over there to make some extra money, and plus my employment. And I said, yeah, they'd pay me in cash, and that's where I met him in the first place. Drunk on his butt. Well, he was,
You
wasn't
didn't
he?
have to tell that.
Huh?
You didn't have to tell that.
Well, he was. He was.
She was tending that bar, and I went in there to have some drinks, and which I didn't need because I was already drunk.
Almost everybody else in there was too, though.
But she served me anyway, and we just got to talking. And
We didn't go out for quite a while after that. Jim Green's, what was that? What do they call that? I know Teresa called it the junkyard, but
well, I don't remember if it had a name or not.
it's a little old bar over there, but they sold the best fish sandwiches there was. And a whole bunch of people would meet over there after I got off from work, and it just happens, all I know.
Back then, we both liked to party a little, and she would go
I
along.
could drink with him, I could keep up drinking.
She could probably outdrink me.
I could. By the grace of God, I didn't become an alcoholic.
Where did you grow up, Jack?
I grew up right around Mount Washington here. We moved here, I think, when I was 5 years old. Well, I just started school. We moved here from Cox's Creek, and back then, I knew everybody in Mount Washington when we were growing up, because Mount Washington was small, but not anymore. I don't know anybody anymore.
I was scared to death the first time that I met his mother. I mean, Jack's 9.5 years younger than I am. I'm almost 9.5 years younger than I am. Your son is going with an older woman. She's got 5 kids, and she's a bartender. And that's what what we need in this family is a bartender. But
That's what Bub said.
huh?
That's what Bub said.
I knew one of them said it, but I didn't know which one of them did. But I couldn't have been treated any nicer. She never, none of his family ever treated me bad. None of them. They was always all good to me. And I appreciate that. And still are to this, they still are. He's lost a lot of his family, but they still are. I couldn't have asked for better in-laws.
Getting into a relationship with someone who was older and had 5 kids, what was that experience like?
Well, at first it was a little scary, I like to say. But, your mother and Jeannie both, we weren't together long, before they both were married, and Debbie not long after too. So just left Pam and Bo, and so that wasn't a problem. I think Bo still looks to me more as his dad than he does his real dad, and he's done a lot to help me. Especially this last time he was in, he took me to down to VA for the test and stuff that they wanted me to have, and he's been good to me. Well, they all have.
How important have they been to you?
Very important. One time I remember they gave me a surprise birthday party. I don't remember where we were at eating, but everybody that was there, I thanked them all for letting me be a part of their family. I'll have to say anything that I ever helped any of them with, I was repaid over and over and over again. And I've tried. I helped some of them a little bit. And like I say, I've been repaid more times than I can count.
Now, how many kids of your own do you have?
I just have the one daughter, Teresa.
We've been married 44 years. I got divorced for 2 years, and then we got married again. So, but first time we got married is 44 years ago. And I don't even count the second time.
You know, in my younger days, I know I caused her a lot of headaches. Okay, but she's stuck with me. You know, I don't know why sometimes, looking back on it, but I'm glad she did. She's that kind.
Fall down.
She's that kind of person. She finds good in everybody.
We found our marriage life, I forgot, 94? When we got married again, 94, 95? I forgot.
You'd have to go look, because I don't know.
They're back there anyway, so.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have to say she's the best thing that ever happened to me.
If you could do anything, like if you were in perfect health and you could do anything, what would you do?
Travel.
Travel. What places do you want to go that you haven't been to?
I would like to go to New York City. I would like to go to Seattle, Washington. I would love to go. People tell me, I had a friend that came down, or went out there and visit, come down the West Coast, just said that's a beautiful drive. I don't want to now with all them fires going on, but if I was healthy, and we're in the shape now we could do it, but we don't feel like it. But I would love to try. I wouldn't want to go out of the United States. I'd like to stay in the States. And we have traveled an awful lot since we've been married. We've been in a lot of places. I'd like to go to Disneyland just to look around that's California's Disneyland. I get depressed because I get so tired. Mm-hmm. I can't do things and I remember Mom used to say, I get so damn tired because I can't do what I used to do. And I know exactly how she feels. And Jack and I get to do now just about what I feel like doing. We can't do what we want to because we talking was it this morning maybe? We like to get out of the house once in a while, except going to the doctor. And that's all we've been doing. And so we go to Derby City. That's the only place we go. And but we enjoy it. I would just like to sightsee all over the United States, and we have been to a lot of states. But if I was able, that's what we'd like to do. Jack likes to too, don't you?
Oh yeah.
And we're good traveling together.
I think we both like to say we like to travel. We've taken several really good trips together, vacations and whatnot. Like I say, we both enjoy traveling and seeing different sights and whatnot. And don't have to tell you, we both like to play the slots.
Something I've never wanted to do is take a cruise. Never wanted to take a cruise. I don't like water. I don't want to be out in the middle of an ocean and can't get back.
Right.
Don't mind flying. And I know you up there. You got a long way to drop, but I don't want to be. I don't want to be in the middle of the ocean. No.
So, what's probably your favorite trip you ever took?
The one year we left here. We went to Grand Canyon. Good Lord, where'd all them places we went? We went to one. We drove over 5,000 miles.
Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore. We went.
Hoover Dam.
No, we didn't go to Hoover Dam that time.
Oh.
And we didn't go to Vegas that time. It's just when you and I went. Jellystone. We had a road map. No GPS, no nothing telling us where to go and how to get back. I don't know how we ever did it, but we did. And then when in 2012, Jeannie went. We went all those places again, and because Jeannie went out through there too. Yeah, I like going. I like out west. The first time we was in Wyoming, wasn't it? Somewhere we go along a highway, and all at once the highway just gave out to a pasture. It was no road, no nothing. Remember, didn't it?
It was on a cow path.
It's a cow pasture, and we kept going right straight through it. No road, no nothing. We finally hit the road again. And Jim Fink and Diane said they were on their motorcycles, and they hit the same thing at one time through there. But it's the United States is pretty and beautiful places. Arizona is not that pretty in some places because you might see one cow to acres of ground. And I know Jackson made the statement when he was down there knowing they gave it back to the Indians. I mean, it was
That was painted desert.
And but we went to we've been to Niagara Falls, and we've been to Atlantic City, New Jersey. We've been to New Orleans. Now, I really enjoyed that trip in New Orleans. We took a bus tour of New Orleans, and that guy knew what he was talking about. He really told us a lot about it. I wouldn't want to live down there. Streets don't look like they're that wide. And then I went to Florida with your mom. It's Sean, Devin, Savannah, me and your mom. And we went to this fish place. Devin didn't want to go because he didn't like it, so he ordered him pizza and stayed at the hotel wherever he's at. Sean ordered
Crab legs.
crab legs. Well, he couldn't eat all. He was going to take him home to Steve. He's going to take him home to his daddy. Well, you wouldn't want to smell crab legs after they've been shut up for a couple of days. They had that. Oh, they was a nasty smelling stuff. He didn't want to throw them away, but we had to finally make him throw them things away. They wouldn't have been good for Steve to eat anyway. Huh? But he wanted to take them to his daddy.
That's hilarious.
So, and then you remember when y'all went to Washington, D.C. with you and Eric? Eric was trying to find that snake?
Yep.
Yeah, told me he wanted to walk. He just trying to chase a snake down in the park. I mean, in a roadside park, rather. We used to go somewhere with my brother. He had one destination that get here, there, as fast as you can get. He didn't like stop in the middle. Now we stop all, and we enjoy ourselves when we're traveling.
Now, did you go to the Hawaii when Bo was stationed there?
We've been over there twice, yeah. I don't care anything about going back over there. It was nice. The first time we went, we really had a good time. Jeannie and I went back, was supposed to be there for Joey's birth, and he didn't cooperate. But we got to go to a military ball with Bo, and then we went to Maui. Jeannie and I flew to Maui and stayed over there a night. But no, Hawaii, I wouldn't care anything about going back. Well, we've traveled, and if I was well enough and young enough and could afford it, I'd buy one of them little bitty trailers, RVs, just big enough for two people, and that's the way we'd go when I'd pay no hotel bills or whatever. But I looked at one time with $100,000. Ooh, we enjoy traveling. We did. We want to go to Belterra if we ever get through going to doctors and I get where I can walk. a walk. I like to walk with a walker. I get so tired I can't walk. But I'm just thankful I'm still able to go. But
You got all those shot glasses, different every state we ever been.
I got over 100, and I think they're in the boxes. Your mother said she wanted them, boxed them up, but I don't know whether she will ever get them or not. They're in a box. I got shot glasses and our cups from everywhere we've ever been. Even Sean sent me some when he was over at Washington
Alaska.
Alaska.
So when did you get interested in UK sports?
Oh, I don't know. As far as I remember, I've always been. I know I had to be. Probably was after Jack and I got married, because I wasn't when the kids were that little.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't interested in the sports. But when we lived on Flat Lake, over there on Flat Lake, I moved there. They knew better than to bother me when UK was playing. Now I'm not as bad now as I used to be. I don't think I even watched a full ball game last year. They were so bad. But Bo used to take me. He took me to Rupp Arena so many times. And then in 2012, I got to go to Young Center and see them play. That's the year they won the championship. And I think that's the last time I ever went to see him play. But Bo and I he used to take me up to the Rupp Arena at least once or twice a year, and to see him play. And back then he was a Cat fan. That's before he turned traitor. Now he's both fans. It doesn't matter whether it's red or but he was working for U of L, and then he had to. So he said you had to go for the ones that paid your bills. So trying to think of some fun things that the kids did. Devin, we lived on Flat Lake. I know you remember that. We lived over on Flat Lake. I was cooking hot dogs and hamburgers outside one day, and he was out there, and he was little. He wasn't too big. Well, the grill caught on. You know how they flare up, and you burn them up, you burn them up. He kept running around there telling me I was burning them all. Never will forget that. He was just burning. Granny burning them up. And, but we had some big family get-togethers over there, too. And you kids are big enough to remember those. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then the year that Bo and him gave me my surprise birthday party, was y'all at that? Mm-hmm. I was 67 then. Mm-hmm. Remember that? Over to him and Mary was married then. They had it over at where they lived. And it was supposed to have been Courtney's 16th birthday party. And that's what they told me when we was going over there. All them cars there. I don't want to go through that no more. It scared. I almost had a heart attack. My 80th birthday was a wonder.
Right.
I cannot ever. Chelsea, Justin and the babies weren't there, but she had just been in. But everybody else in the family was there, except Amber's husband, David. But all you grandkids were there, all the great grandkids, sisters. It was just. I told Jeannie that day if I died, the next day I'd be happy. It was a wonder. It was just a wonder, and I'll be thankful for that till I do die.
Now, how old were you when you had your first heart attack?
When I had my first heart attack?
Yeah.
60.
Oh, wow. And what did they say what was the main cause behind that?
Tell you the truth, Jonathan, I don't remember. It was the type of heart attack that should kill me. I never, ever thought I was going to die. I thought I had heartburn. And Jack and him's family was going to have Christmas dinner the next day. And I had made the rolls, my yeast rolls that I make. And I couldn't sleep. So I got up and I was rolling out the rolls. I'd taken every kind of antacid around here I could take, and nothing helped. And I finally went back there and woke him up. And I said, I've got the heartburn so bad and nothing is making it go away. And then I got sick at my stomach. And we didn't see a cop all the way to here to Audubon. And he had his lights on. It was 5 o'clock in the morning, wasn't it? Wasn't it about 5 o'clock in the morning?
It was early.
Yeah, somewhere like that.
1999.
And so I still didn't think heart attack. Nothing, it never dawned on me I was having a heart attack. They hooked me up to a monitor and then they took off running. And then come back there and told me that I had a heart attack, which I thought was a mild heart attack. Everybody did. And, but the next day, when I found out how really sick I was, I don't remember which one of the girls was out of the ICU. And asked them, said, people are calling and ask how Mom is. What can we tell them? Critical and iffy. That was the word that nurse told them. And that's how I knew how sick I was. I never did think I was going to die. And my hat that you brought me, I still got it and the light still works. It still works. And, but I don't remember too awfully much about the first couple of 3 days in there. But, and then the second one I had, Dr. Dillon was putting a stent in. And he told me, said, Myrtle, you're going to have a light heart attack. It's not going to kill you. It's going to hurt like hell. That's just the words he said. And I was on the table. And that was when Willetta died. I was still in there when Willetta died. So that's the two that I've had. 10% of my heart's bottom of it's dead. At first heart attack did that. But this last episode, I mean, Dr. Dillon just complained. He just told me, he asked me, what do you want done? He thought I was going to have to be put on a life support, I guess. I don't know. I told him I didn't want to be put on a life support. And, but look at me now. It's a month ago. 6 weeks ago. I'm usually here. And Joey, Rachel, I used to call her, she called me while I was sick. I thought that was nice. The girls, they brought food. Debbie come down to Orange, Jeannie come down to the store. Pam brought food. Well, your mom can't come down. She says she's not going to try and come down with as much stuff she's got going on, but you don't know what they're bringing in now, there, so maybe I shouldn't even put that on there, so I don't know. You might have to edit that.
That's fine.
But she was just afraid with what Savannah and them bring in. She didn't want to bring it down, She's come down she came down once and brought us a lunch. Bo just went beyond when he was here, even helping his dad. And they're coming back for Thanksgiving. So, if you want this to be a memorial, I want to tell each and every child, each and every grandchild, great-grandchild, how much their granny loves them. When Brian Scott was born, he was the first one. You didn't think you could love another child like you did him. But then Kim came along. And then you came along. And the love's the same. I mean, it's all there. You didn't think you had that much love in you, but you do. There's no different. And I'm so thankful and so blessed that God has given me you all of you, including Jack, everyone. You all, the whole family. That includes you and all your families, have been a blessing. Really. A really, truly blessing. Out of 15 grandkids, only 2 of them has been in trouble, and that's saying a whole lot. They all graduated from high school, well, Matthew didn't graduate, but he did get his GED. I cannot say enough about what the kids have always been in. He's done so much. All you grandkids are so loving, and I know you love me. I love every one of you. Jack has been an absolute rock. He treats me like a baby sometimes. And they've been running since this last illness. When I found out about my heart, they have just, all of them, it just went way beyond what I think they should do. But I just feel so truly blessed. I'm not afraid to die. I told them that from the start when Dr. Dillon told me my heart was wore out. My biggest sorrow is leaving all the family. And I know you all are gonna, be sad. And I don't want you to be sad. But I know you will be, because I would be too. I could just wish I could hold Debbie and take some of her hurt away. I know I can't. It will get easier as the time goes by, I hope. But if I could just take some of her hurt away. And I'm so thankful to God for Pam being here. Just live each day to the fullest. Well, of course, Mom, Dad, Daddies, Grannies, Wallettas, Jameses, all of them. I mean, they hurt. Frankie's death really got it. She was my best friend, and she wanted to die. She was in so much pain. She quit taking her medicine. She had to sign a statement. But didn't she, Jack? She just said that she couldn't hardly wait.
Yeah.
And then I saw her, and I guess that's the reason I'm not afraid. She was so looking, I think she was so glad to get out of pain, to be able to be free of pain.
Right.
Because she was in pain. Me, it's not the pain, it's just, I'm just not afraid to go. And, I'll watch over you all from up there, I know I will. But, I mean, I thought I'd be gone, but now I might be around here 10 years. I don't know. I hope not, because I don't want to live 10 more years. That'd make me 92 years old. Anybody in our family needs to have their hearts checked. We've all, heart problems run in our whole family. We all have back problems. But your heart, take care of your heart. Make sure you get your test run and find out if your heart's okay. And because look at Scott and Vicky. Vicky's had heart problems all her last 34 years. She's been in AFib, so she has heart problems. James had a heart problems, right? Make sure your heart's okay, because it runs in our family. Don't wait until you get old to do things you want to do, if you're able to do it now. If you're in a situation where you could, like, go on a vacation or do this, don't put it off. And be there for your kids. Live life to the fullest. Believe in the Lord and trust in God. That's the best advice I can give them. Y'all I just can't say it enough to let everybody know just what you all mean to me. That's the message that I want to get across more than anything else. And I think all of you know it. Just how much I love each and every one of you. And I don't get to see you as much as I would like. But that's because everybody has full lives. They got the work. They got families. I couldn't have asked for a better life than what I've had in the last 20 years. I'm proud of all of you all. And the kids have grown up to be good parents. Your grandkids have grown up to be very good parents, the ones that are married and got kids. And I'm just proud of all of you. If all of the kids ever see this after I'm gone, y'all have gave me my life. I love you all more than my life itself. And you all know it. And I want you to always remember it. I'll always be watching over each and every one of you. And Jack too. And just live your life right. And y'all pick good guys and good wives. So no complaint there. So I just wanted to let you know that you all are my life. All of you.